First up, we got Nicki Minaj. This feud between these two is so intense, it spilled over to real life, and the pair had an incredibly awkward moment at the VMAs. It started when Nicki tweeted in response to the nominations for the 2015 MTV VMA Awards. She was frustrated that she was not nominated for her video Anaconda. She said, quote, "When the other girls drop a video that breaks records and impacts culture, they get that nomination." As a side note, Taylor Swift ended up getting nominated that year and took Nicki's comment as a personal dig. However, her and Nicki did come to a truce after some time, when they discussed the real reason behind Nicki not getting nominated. At this point, you're probably wondering where Miley gets involved here. So a few weeks after Nicki's tweet, Miley did an interview with the New York Times where she spoke about Nicki's lack of nomination. Miley said, quote, "What I read sounded very Nicki Minaj, which if you know Nicki Minaj is not too kind. It's not very polite. I think there's a way that you speak to people with openness and love. You don't have to start this pop star against pop star war." This statement got tons of backlash, and it seemed that Miley was feeding into the angry black woman stereotype, along with saying that Nicki was too aggressive when speaking about her disappointment. Then things came to a head at the VMAs when Nicki came on stage to accept an award, and she directly called out Miley, who was hosting a part of the event. Nicki said, quote, "And now back to this bitch that had a lot to say about me in the press. Miley, what's good?" Miley added fuel to the fire in 2019 when she released a song called Catitude that included lyrics reading, "I love you Nicki, but I listen to Carey." So clearly their relationship is still pretty tense. Liam Hemsworth and Miley Cyrus were in an on and off again relationship for a decade that included an engagement, marriage, and sadly a divorce. After the split, the pair were not on good terms, and sources reveal that Liam hated Miley afterwards. The bad blood apparently started when Miley moved on incredibly fast from their split. Quote, "Liam kinda takes a bad opinion of Miley at this point. He was really hurt by their separation." The pair split a few months before their official announcement, but Liam was shocked to see Miley out kissing Caitlyn Carter before the announcement was released. The photos of Miley and Caitlyn were leaked on August 9th of 2019. Then Miley and Liam announced their divorce August 10th to make sure the public knew that Miley was not cheating. Sources close to Hemsworth say that the speed in which Miley started the new relationship with Caitlyn Carter and Cody Simpson left him hurt. A source claimed that they hadn't talked much after their split, and he was hurt that she moved on so fast. According to Page 6, Liam was blinded by the news of their separation, which was announced while he was in Australia. Taylor Swift. Nobody is quite sure if the feud between Taylor and Miley was real, but sources exposed that Taylor said some shady things about Miley following her infamous 2013 VMAs performance. The pair got close after Taylor had a cameo in the Hannah Montana movie, but afterwards Taylor distanced from Miley. A source told Life in Style in 2013 that Taylor publicly referred to Miley's VMA performance from that year as, quote, "grotesque and disgusting." But Taylor's reps quickly clapped back at the lies, calling the report made up. But clearly Miley thought the shade was real, because she dished out some shade of her own in a 2015 interview with the New York Times where she seemed to call out Taylor's girl squad. Miley said, quote, "I'm not trying to be in the squad. None of my friends are famous and not because of any other reason, and I just like real people who are living real lives because I'm inspired by them." Next up, Katy Perry. Katy Perry threw some shade Miley's way after the pair shared a kiss in 2014. It's hard to tell if Katy was joking around or not, but Miley was very offended. When asked about their kiss, Katy said, quote, "God knows where that tongue has been. We don't know. That tongue is so infamous." This is clearly a reference to the fact that Miley was sticking her tongue out a lot and doing outlandish things like that around this time. Miley then clapped back on Twitter, writing, quote, "Girl, if you're worried where tongues have been, good thing your ex-boo is your ex-boo, cause we all know where that tongue has been." This was in reference to Katy's ex, John Mayer, who definitely has a reputation for being a ladies' man, if you know what I mean. Next up, Taylor Momsen. Taylor Momsen rose to fame on the hit show Gossip Girl, playing Jenny Humphrey, who was a cute, non-threatening character in the show. But over time, Taylor changed a ton and started to resent the family-friendly image that she portrayed on TV. During a 2010 interview with FHM, Momsen spoke of how she was up for the role of Hannah Montana, but ended up losing it to Miley. But she said that was for the best and she's happy about how things worked out, but decided to throw some serious shade Miley's way in the process. Momsen said, quote, "I'm not looking to be Miley effing Cyrus. I don't care about the fame, I do it because I love music. I'm not dissing Miley personally, however I do think the Disney bubblegum shit that the world is living right now is pathetic. I thought we passed that repression. I don't know Miley, but musically we're different. To compare us because of our age is silly." Miley never responded to the shade, but it's clear that Taylor is either very bitter or just really hates Miley. Next up, Cher, if you can believe it. Cher did not hold back with her criticism of Miley's 2013 VMAs performance, where she danced around the stage in a latex bikini and danced on Robin Thicke. When asked her opinions on the performance, Cher straight up said it was terrible. Cher said, quote, "I'm not old-fashioned. She could have come out naked if she just rocked the house. I would have said, you go girl. It just wasn't done well." Adding, quote, "She can't dance. Her body looked like hell. The song wasn't great. One cheek was hanging out, and chick, don't stick your tongue out if it's coated. Cher continued that it might have all been a publicity stunt to get people talking about Miley and her new look, but it seems that after reflecting on the comments, Cher actually regretted what she said, and said she was ashamed that she threw that much shade at Miley. Although Cher clarified that she does not apologize for what she said, and says she feels the next time she will just not share her opinions. Jodie Sweetin. Miley was called out by Jodie Sweetin's fans in 2016 after Miley posted a throwback picture showing Jodie partying, which was insensitive considering Jodie publicly came out as sober since that photo was taken. Although Miley was probably trying to share a sweet moment, Jodie's fans felt it was very insensitive that Miley was reminding Jodie of this unfortunate time in her life when she was struggling. When E! News asked Jodie about the photo, she took the high road, saying, quote, "I don't pay attention to the negative stuff. I have so much good stuff going in my life right now that I try not to pay attention." After all the heat, Miley edited the caption to read, "Current mood, #Fuller House, only you freaks take this as shaming. To me it looks like Stephanie is having an effing gay old time." So clearly Miley did not understand the criticism and defended the photo as the pair were having a good time. Shenae Grimes. Following the release of Miley's viral music video for Wrecking Ball, Shenae Grimes called out Miley on Twitter, saying she needs to bathe after the gross video. Grimes tweeted, quote, "What the F is up with Miley's new music video? I mean, I don't know the girl, but if I did, I demand she bath twice, put on some clothes, and give her a big hug. She looks like she needs it." But that was not all. Grimes' husband, Josh Beach, also chimed in shading her music video and saying that Miley needs to be very wary of how her young fans will take it. Beach wrote in his blog, quote, "Miley's got a new video and to be honest, I like the song. The video is maybe a bit unnecessary considering her fans are aged between 10 and 12, but whatever floats your boat, I guess." Next up, Ed Sheeran. Following Miley's MTV VMA performance with Robin Thicke, Ed shared his very critical thoughts about Miley's dance moves. In an interview with The Mirror, Ed Sheeran referred to her dancing as stripper moves and not appropriate for her audience. Then when asked about her Wrecking Ball music video, Ed replied, quote, "Twerking is what exotic dancers do, it's a fact. If you go to an adult club, they twerk. You shouldn't be encouraging little kids to dance like that. If I had a daughter of mine, I wouldn't want her doing that." Adding, quote, "When I first heard Wrecking Ball, I thought it was a brilliant song, but the video distracts too much from it." But apparently after Sheeran said those strong words about Miley, he regretted it and wants to apologize for what he said to her. While speaking to Howard Stern, Ed said that he was pretty drunk from an after party when reporters came up and asked him about Miley. At the time, he thought he told Miley to stop with the raunchy dancing in a nice way, but he got tons of anxiety when he realized that he was really mean to her. He added, quote, "I said something along the lines of, 'Your voice is amazing, your songs are amazing, just stop twerking.' I didn't say it in the nicest way and I do genuinely love her music and think her voice is great." But it seems that Miley did not accept his apology because at the time he said some really rude stuff. While Miley was talking about her newest project at the time, Malibu, Billboard asked if her new album is, quote, "pretty singer-songwriter-y. No?" Cyrus replied, quote, "Yeah, but not granola. I don't listen to Ed Sheeran and John Mayer and stuff."
At number 5, the Jonas Brothers. As we are all aware, Disney likes to keep their stars as clean as possible, so when they're caught being a little more adult and risque, that is definitely a problem for the company. This became Vanessa Hudgens' reality in 2007 after some of her private photos were leaked. Vanessa opened up about this scandal years later, saying that it was traumatic for her, having lost her privacy in that moment. It was also a big deal for Disney, who was trying to cover the story up and keep her image intact. Since she was one of the faces of the High School Musical franchise, it was important to the company to make this all go away. Joe Jonas even opened up about this time in Vanessa's life, saying that while he and his brothers were working for Disney at the time, he remembers the day the scandal broke and how the executives had Vanessa in their office for the whole day trying to deal with that mess. Joe even said that the other executives approached him and his brothers and praised them for not having had a scandal like this. This put a lot of pressure on the Jonas Brothers to always stay perfect in the eyes of the company. In a way, the Jonas Brothers warned us about Vanessa and her image. On one hand, the Joe Bros kind of exposed the lengths that people would go to give Vanessa the special treatment she required to get her out of this mess, and this special treatment could have impacted her ego, making her into who she is now. At number 4, Chrissy Teigen. In early 2020, when the world started ending, a lot of celebrities were voicing their thoughts and opinions on the global health crisis, and many of them faced backlash. From Madonna and her bathtub rant to Evangeline Lilly and her dismissal of the lockdown protocols, celebrities started facing backlash for their comments and actions, but the one celebrity who faced the most backlash in regards to their pandemic comments was actress Vanessa Hudgens. You might recall her comments about people passing away due to COVID and the backlash that ensued afterwards, but you might not recall who came to support her when she was being cancelled. Chrissy Teigen stepped up to defend the actress when she was getting torn to shreds online and in the news. In response to Vanessa being cancelled, Chrissy tweeted in her defense saying, quote, "Sometimes people, especially famous people, are gonna say some really stupid-ish, and so are you, and they and you will learn from it, and hopefully their history says they're good. It's okay, and at the same time, wow, they had really dumb moment. But you don't have to ruin their lives. This isn't about me this time, but it will be one day or it'll be you. But yeah, today it's Vanessa. LOL, and no, life isn't ruined for everyone. But you are damn well trying your best. Just stop. Unquote. Chrissy also ended up facing some backlash for those comments because she was seen as defending the remarks that Vanessa made. This could have been a warning about Vanessa, but as we would later come to find out, Chrissy is a little problematic herself, so one problematic person supporting another could spell disaster. Before we carry on talking about Vanessa Hudgens and the people who warned us about her true colors, why not take a moment to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying it so far, and while you're at it, consider subscribing to the channel to see more videos like this one. At number 3, Austin Butler. When you love someone, you want to show it, and what's a better way of showing it than defacing a natural United States property? I'm kidding, but Vanessa Hudgens was not. While on a romantic getaway with then-boyfriend Austin Butler, the two etched their names surrounded by a heart into a rock in Sedona, Arizona, and Vanessa posted a picture of it to her Instagram. Come to find out a little while later that what they did was totally illegal and they ratted on themselves with that post. Since being made aware of her illegal activity, she removed the post and was ordered to pay a $1,000 fine for damages, but the outcome could have been so much worse. The maximum fine for this offense is $5,000 and a 6-month jail sentence. In a way, Austin and Vanessa's actions could have been a warning about the actress's sense of entitlement. She didn't see anything wrong with defacing the rocks in Arizona and didn't really care about the consequences, and that sort of speaks volumes about the type of person someone is. If you don't care about how your actions affect others, then that can kind of make you a bad person. At number 2, Zac Efron. When you think about Vanessa Hudgens, most people would picture her in High School Musical carrying around that Disney vibe, but after learning about her dark side, you might change your thoughts about her. Basically, Vanessa has been known to often let her jealousy get the best of her, and oftentimes this leads to people getting their feelings hurt. Take for example this one time when a fan approached Vanessa's ex, Zac Efron. The couple were out shopping at a department store when a young fan went up to Zac to tell him how much she loved him. She was apparently super nervous and stumbling over her words, and so instead of being an understanding and respectful person, Vanessa butt in and started making fun of the young fan. She started laughing at the poor girl and humiliated her in front of her celebrity crush. Now, even though Zac didn't exactly do anything in this specific situation, he did bring out a side of Vanessa because she was showing a jealous side when someone other than her was getting Zac's attention. This could have been a warning about how she is in a relationship, seeming to be quite emotional and attached, but also serving as a warning of the type of person she is when she's not on set, showing that she's not afraid to be rude, even to the people who support her the most. And finally, at number 1, Selena Gomez. Back in 2012, Vanessa Hudgens and Selena Gomez seemed to have gotten into a feud over a Vanity Fair cover. See, at the time, they were promoting their film Spring Breakers, and so there was a lot of attention on them, but it seemed like Vanessa wanted that attention more than anything because she got really upset when she found out that Selena was getting the Vanity Fair cover and not her. She played it off like Selena was only getting the spotlight because of her relationship with Justin Bieber at the time. A source close to Vanessa told sources, quote, "Vanessa won't let it go. She feels absolutely furious, especially since she has a much bigger role in Spring Breakers than Selena does." End quote. This side of Vanessa certainly wasn't flattering because she was giving off such diva energy. In a way, her feuds with Selena was a warning about how seriously Vanessa takes her time in the spotlight and just how she isn't willing to share that fame.
Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato have had a very rocky relationship over the last decade, and at this point it's safe to say the former BFFs are not even close. They first became friends when they were 7 years old and acting on Barney and Friends. Their friendship continued into their teens when they were both Disney stars, and they publicly told the world that they were BFFs. But their friendship started to strain when Selena started to make new friends, namely Taylor Swift. The strain became obvious in 2010 when a fan asked Demi how Selena was, and Demi replied, quote, "Ask Taylor Swift." Lovato also did some other interviews around that time, stating that their friendship was drifting. The pair then had an on and off decade where they would be best friends one year and then seemingly hate each other the next. The pair also frequently followed and then unfollowed one another on social media. It seems that over the years Selena has tried to make amends with Demi, but Demi is the one keeping the strain on their relationship. But since Demi is known for cutting friends off, it seems that they are most likely the problem. Taylor Swift. Leading in from our last point, we have Taylor Swift. I'm not sure that Demi Demi and Taylor ever had much of a friendship, but they became enemies after Demi savagely called out Taylor for taking Selena from them. But that one incident I discussed earlier was just the beginning. Demi also unnecessarily bashed Taylor after she donated $250,000 to Kesha during her legal battle with Dr. Luke. Lovato wrote on Instagram, quote, "Not everyone has $250,000 to just give to people. Would love to, but I didn't grow up with money and definitely haven't made as much as her. At least I speak up about things that's uncomfortable to talk about rather than trying to be politically correct 24/7. Then going on to say that Swift just uses women empowerment to further her brand, but won't have the uncomfortable conversations publicly. Taylor never commented on the situation, but it didn't stop Demi from doing so. A few months later, Demi told Refinery29 that they don't like people in the industry who brand themselves as feminist but don't do the work. Adding later, quote, "I think that having a song in a video about tearing Katy Perry down, that's not women's empowerment," clearly insinuating that they were talking about Taylor. Taylor continued to take the high road, but Demi decided to keep making enemies in the industry. Nicki Minaj. This one's honestly hilarious. Nicki and Demi were both Moschino designer Jeremy Scott's guests at the 2016 Met Gala, so they all went as a group. After the event, Nicki posted a photo online with all three of them, but she only tagged Jeremy Scott in the photo, not Demi. Demi then lashed out on social media, tweeting, quote, "When you aren't mentioned in a post but didn't do to the person," then posting their own photo of Minaj glaring at them, where Minaj looks to be annoyed at Demi. Demi later clarified that they were not trying to shade Nicki, more so just make fun of the night in general. However, months later, it turned out that was not the case, and Demi did an interview where they said that they had such a bad experience at the Met Gala, they wanted to actually drink that night, which led Demi to go to an AA meeting that night. Nicki never addressed the beef, but I'm sure she was more than a little ticked off. Obviously, we have no idea what actually happened between them at the event. I mean, some bad stuff could have went down, but not tagging Demi in the photo definitely didn't warrant that kind of response. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is the last person that anyone would want to get in a fight with, but Demi still managed to feud with her anyways. Although I will say it was pretty one-sided. In 2016, Lovato commented on a meme that basically said that Ariana Grande is the budget version of Mariah Carey, writing, quote, "You got it the wrong way around, honey. Mariah is a legend and so talented, but constantly disses people. It's so nasty the way she treats Jennifer Lopez. Ari did nothing wrong." Adding in another comment, quote, "The woman is mean for no reason. Extremely talented, yes. Superhuman, possibly. Unnecessarily rude, absolutely." Carey never responded to the shade publicly until Andy Cohen asked her about it months later. Carey responded, quote, "I don't know her either, and so I wouldn't say anything to her. She should come up, introduce herself to me, say, here's my opinion, what do you think about it? That's how you handle shit, okay?" And I have to say, I mean, Mariah is absolutely right. Also, the "I don't know her" comment just so much better after referencing Jennifer Lopez. It was like an infamous, reference that with their feud, Carey didn't know her. Stalker Sarah. Stalker Sarah was a huge Instagram influencer many years ago that was known for stalking celebrities and getting pictures with all of them. One of these celebrities was Demi Lovato. In 2016, Sarah posted a photo with Demi with the caption, quote, "Having a blast at Dallas Lovato's showcase with my girl Demi Lovato. So proud of my babes." She also mentioned Lovato's younger sister, Madison de la Garza, several times. But Demi ended up completely lashing out at the friendly caption and replied, quote, "I'm not your effing girl. If I was, you wouldn't be asking for pictures. You stalk people for a living. We are not friends. Get a job. This is my 14-year-old baby sister. She's not your babe." With Demi continuing that their family was not afraid to press charges. Fans were completely shocked to see what Demi had written to a fan, calling it completely out of line. Demi's sister seemed to think so too and privately DM'd Sarah, writing, quote, "Sarah, I'm so sorry about what's going on. I'm so disgusted. I can't tell you how embarrassed I am for what's going on." Zendaya. Demi Lovato also took aim at Zendaya back in the day and called out the actor for a line that she said in a TV show. While Zendaya was starring on Disney's Shake It Up in 2013, Zendaya said an eating disorder joke on the show and Demi bashed her online for saying it. Demi also made a comment about Zendaya and joked that Disney actresses were getting thinner and thinner and that they missed the days of Lizzie McGuire and That's So Raven. Zendaya didn't end up responding to the nasty comment, however, her father did. Her dad tweeted to Demi that they should apologize to Zendaya for the comment, saying that his daughter looks up to Demi and they shouldn't send her hate. Lovato later apologized but made another swipe at Zendaya's body years later when they tweeted negatively about Zendaya getting her own Barbie doll, saying that they needed to make a curvy doll instead. Backup dancer. So this story is really insane and I had no idea that it happened until I was researching for this video. Demi made headlines in 2020 2010 when one of their backup dancers exposed that Demi punched them in the face. According to People, while Lovato was on tour with the Jonas Brothers, they were acting up. After Demi got a talking to from the tour manager, they demanded to know who ratted them out. Demi then got the idea that their backup dancer, Welch, was the one that snitched and allegedly ended up punching them in the face. In late December of 2010, People reported that Welch and Lovato reached a settlement for an undisclosed sum for the incident. But obviously, violence is never the answer. Just want to put that out there.
At number 5, Rob Lowe. Bella Thorne has been very transparent on social media, often sharing her thoughts in the moment. Well, in January 2018, Bella took to Twitter to voice her frustrations with traffic, tweeting out, quote, "FU 101 to Santa Barbara, I'm missing my boyfriend's first date on his tour." Well, what she didn't take into account was why traffic was so bad that day. And so actor Rob Lowe decided to fill her in on the situation while also voicing his disdain for her ignorance. At the time that she was trying to get to her boyfriend's concert, there was a series of mudslides in Montecito that caused a lot of damage as well as some casualties. Rob, clearly offended, posted a picture of Bella's tweet with a caption replying to her where he said, quote, "This attitude is why people hate celebrities / Hollywood. Bella, I'm sorry you were inconvenienced. We will try to move out our dead quicker." She later issued an apology saying that she didn't know about the mudslides in the area. In a way, Rob calling out Bella on her actions on social media was sort of showing us and warning us about her online behavior as well as her ignorance. As we would come to later learn, Bella isn't very in tune with others when it comes to their feelings or well-being. We saw this when she was caught in the middle of her OnlyFans scandal that affected a lot of people and scammed many others. This tweet from years ago may have been the beginning of Bella's ignorance being shown to her fans. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up because it really helps to support the channel. At number 4, the Kardashians. Back in 2017, Bella had a run-in with the Kardashians after she was caught getting cozy with Kourtney's ex, Scott Disick. Their show, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, saw the family voicing their opinions on Bella and Scott's supposed relationship. It was believed that Scott was only hanging around Bella to make Kourtney jealous as she had begun to move on from their relationship. But this didn't stop the sisters from warning Scott about the former Disney star. Laying into Scott and Bella's fling, Kim says that Scott being seen with Bella is a, quote, "bad look for him," and that this makes him look desperate. In a way, this was not only a warning to Scott, but also a warning to others that Bella isn't really someone you want to be around. If there's anything we've learned from Bella's past relationships with people from Tana Mongeau to Momsen to Charlie Puth and Tyler Posey, whenever you get too close to Bella, things often go sideways. With Momsen, their messy breakup resulted in allegations of theft, and Bella's relationship with Charlie Puth was short-lived because there was rumors that she had been cheating on Tyler Posey with him. And we can't forget about this whole ordeal with her ex-girlfriend Tana and the hostility there. Bella seems to cause drama wherever she goes, and the Kardashians were already aware of that since it was making waves in their family as well. They warned us about this kind of drama long ago, and it still seems to hold up. At number 3, Mia Khalifa. Over the summer in 2020, Bella Thorne faced mass scrutiny after starting an OnlyFans page and being accused of scamming as well as harming the livelihoods of others on the platform. Those who use the platform as a source of income were already scrutinized for their work, and these creators face harsh judgment, and so it's very important for these creators to uplift and support one another, not only on a promotional level, but also by working to legitimize the space and their work. Mia Khalifa, an adult film star who recently joined the OnlyFans platform, is looking to be an advocate for these kinds of issues and holds people accountable for going against these efforts. Recently, Mia confronted Bella Thorne about her behavior on the platform, calling her out for scamming her audience by reselling old content as well as not following through on her promise to her followers to promote their OnlyFans pages. When Mia tried advising Bella to be a better advocate for the platform, Bella responded with a sort of generic apology and offered a free month to her page, clearly not taking Mia's advice seriously. By confronting Bella, then tweeting a screenshot of her response showing that she's not really taking her scrutiny seriously, Mia is sort of warning us about Bella's actions and the fact that she doesn't really care about her fans as much as she pretends to. Bella may keep lying and scamming to her fans, but Mia is out here warning us about Bella's actions and warning us of what may happen if we subscribe to her. At number 2, Sean Baker. On the topic of this OnlyFans business, when Bella first came out saying that she was starting her page on the platform, she said that this venture was mostly for research for a future movie. After breaking platform records, being the first person to make $1 million in their first 24 hours on the site, Bella was interviewed about this new chapter of her life, posting on OnlyFans. She told sources that she was doing this as research for a film that she was making with director Sean Baker, saying that she wanted to learn about life on the platform, finding answers to questions like, quote, What are the ins and outs? What does a platform like this do to its users? What is the connective material between your life and your life inside the world of OnlyFans? How can it change your life for the worse and for the better? How far are you willing to go, and how far do you want to go? At first, finding out that this was all research and that she didn't really need to be on the platform for her own income, this angered some people since her venture affected so many creators. But after receiving so much backlash, the director whom Bella said that she was creating this film with actually came forward to clear the air and tell everyone that there were never any plans to make a film with Bella, and that he actually tried to warn her about joining OnlyFans. In a statement the director released, he said to the public, quote, "I would like to make it clear that the news of me making a documentary film or fiction narrative about OnlyFans and using Bella Thorne as research is false. I am not attached to this project. I'm actually in development of 2 features that I've put years of research and love into, and neither of these films have anything to do with Miss Thorne or OnlyFans." He also went on to state that he told Bella that joining the platform was a bad idea and that she needed to think about the impact that she would have on other creators. Obviously, Bella didn't listen to that advice and ultimately landed in some hot water. Sean Stamen, in a way, warned us about Bella's actions and her lying. She told the world in an interview for Paper Magazine that this was all research, but the reality is that it was all lies. Now that we know that she lied about the research, the question remains, why did she decide to join OnlyFans in the first place then? At number 1, Tana Mongeau. Tana Mongeau and Bella Thorne were in a relationship from 2017 to about 2019, and though they said on Twitter that their split was amicable and that they still love each other, that clearly is no longer the case. Bella first got upset after Tana announced that she was engaged to YouTuber Jake Paul, but just recently their beef has gone through the roof and there's a lot of hostility. Bella recently released a song and music video called SFB, you can look up what that means, which allegedly is based on her relationship with Tana, and it's pretty shady. Not only is she calling Tana out in her songs, but their feuding is also leaching into Twitter and TikTok, where they're subtweeting or replying to each other or making TikToks about each other. Now, honestly, they're both as bad as each other. I mean, they're both being pretty toxic in the way that they're handling things, but if you take a step back from all of their back and forth drama, you can see a bit of a pattern coming from Bella that Tana has brought out and has seemingly warned us about, this being her toxicity. Even though they're having their drama online, Bella is really the one who started all of this. Bella and Tana hadn't really interacted much since 2019, and then all of a sudden, she releases this diss track about Tana without provocation. She's attacking Tana for no good reason other than to get people talking, and Tana warned us about this. On December 23rd, just a few days after the release of SFB, Tana tweeted a picture of missed FaceTime calls from Bella that shows that she's still been trying to get in contact with Tana. This beef that Bella is starting online seems to be all for show, because if she really hated Tana as much as she claims to online, then she probably wouldn't be trying to call her, right? Tana called her out on this and sort of warned fans about the lengths that Bella would go to in order to stay relevant in the media, including destroying a relationship.